I'm Dan Calhoun. I'm the vehicle line manager for the Mazda CX-3. It's a brand new vehicle from Mazda that competes in the subcompact CUV category. This car is a major evolution of our Kodo design philosophy. Our whole idea here was to make it sharper, faster, and more expressive, a better expression of our dynamic movement that we have within our vehicles. On this vehicle here, you can see it's the GT model. It has these LED headlights and LED daytime running lights, which give very bright light and a very, very unique and great appearance. We have a vertical fog light and bumper componentry here to give a very short overhang, which is reminiscent of a sports car, and it really brings out the design of these 18-inch alloy wheels, which are some of the largest in the segment. If you move down the vehicle, you can see we have a very long hood, again, reminiscent of a sports car. This whole car was based on the fact that it's going to take on the proportions of a sports car, and the long hood, because of the pullback A-pillar, represents that. And then we have a character line that moves back that helps give lengthening across there. Another thing we were able to achieve is a very compact cabin. We did that by blacking out the D-pillar in the back, which gives a very tight, compressed cabin. And it also gives a floating roof to the car, which really accentuates the tight cabin of the car. So very expressive in its design on the exterior. Powering the car, we have a 2-liter Skyactiv engine. It's a 2-liter, it produces 146 pound-feet of torque and 146 horsepower. The great thing about this engine, it's very torquey. It provides great fuel efficiency, and it has very, very low CO2 emissions. Putting the power to the wheels, our transmission, we have the Skyactiv automatic transmission. It is a 6-speed automatic with both a sport mode and a manual mode. The great thing about our transmission, very responsive, very efficient, and it actually feels like you're driving a manual transmission. The great thing about this is you get super good fuel economy, and we do it without having to do a CVT. A lot of manufacturers move to a CVT. We're able to achieve it with an automatic transmission, which is much more pleasurable and much more responsive to drive than the CVTs. So we're able to achieve fuel economy by doing that, which is great. Because all Mazdas are all about the driving dynamics. Move to the interior of the car. You're going to see the interior design, something you find on a much more premium level of vehicle. When you look at the interior of this car, you see on the GT here we have leather seats with Lux suede inserts, and it's hard to catch, but you can see this attention to detail in our stitching. It's amazing the level of stitching you'll see in this car, and then even going to the piping on the seats with this red piping. Really brings out a high quality appearance to the car. You even got a stitching over the hood that surrounds the instrument panel here. Again, something you're not going to find in this class of car, that attention to detail. On the decoration panel, you can see across right above the instrument cluster, the HVAC, as you see this really well decorated, very nicely stitched, soft material. We call it the decoration panel. Then of course our door insert. Soft material, very well stitched. The treatments of the materials, kind of the silver materials that come through and really bring out the design of the car, but also the attention to detail, which is even carried over even in our HVAC, where you see we have the piano black and accentuated with multiple colors. So a very, very well designed car that you'll find in a more premium vehicle. And then the feature content is amazing in this car. This is our Grand Touring model, so it comes pretty much standard with everything. You've got a 7-inch touchscreen display, which is standard across the board on all of our cars. On the GT, we also have an adaptive driving display, which it's located here. It's not up at this time, but it gives you real-time driving data. Very nice feature, so you don't have to take your eyes off the road. This car is also equipped with a standard navigation system. It's got the standard standard auto AC. It's got satellite radio, and this one has our iActiveSense technology package on it. So it gives you a lot of great features such as Mazda radar cruise control, smart city brake support, smart brake support, lane departure warning, adaptive front lighting system which turn with the direction of the car, and then starting with the shorting grade, the cars have standard blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic alert. So again, features you're not going to find in other classes, typically in this class of car, and a lot of times these features aren't going to find on even a more expensive car. Okay, one of the key really defining features about these cars that people really like is the versatility and functionality of the hatchback. So we have the feature back here. We have the hatchback. So you have a very nice cargo area here, and actually there's a little removable port here where you actually have some space underneath, so you can store things you want to keep out of sight. So it's a very kind of a cool little compartment where you can add extra feature content. As we move forward, we can this has a cargo cover right now that'll keep your things hidden when you put the rear cargo area down, and then we can fold the seats. Pressing just a button on top of the seat. And this will really give you a lot more cargo space. Nearly flat floor. And I'll do both sides so you can get a better view of what it looks like. You can see that adds plenty of room to add whatever kind of things you may do where there's weekend activities going on for the weekend, take a run to Home Depot, or different things of that nature. And we can take the cargo cover out if it needs to be, if you want to get some extra space. So very, very flexible, easy to use, whether you need the front seats up or seats down. So kind of a great feature. And again, it's what else? That kind of covers it, I guess. Trying to think what else on cargo. That's about it, I think, on the cargo.